No, that's when you this contract.
I know, it's where I keep looking at my phone to see what time it is.
It's like Back to the Future. You still have reruns. All right, that's it. Go sit down. I've had enough.
What time you got?
No, 6:59, 6:59. Now it's 7, now it's 7.
Cynthia, we ready?
Now it's 7.
Wait.
I do. Township Council Workshop meeting is now called to order, Monday, November 19, 2018. I see we have Council-elect Al Quaddy in the audience. Would you please lead us in Pledge of Allegiance?
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mrs. Kraus?
Take notice that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with NJSA 10:4-10 as follows. A notice of the meeting was prominently posted on the bulletin board at the municipal building located at 225 Main Street, Little Falls, New Jersey on January 2nd, 2018. A copy of the notice was faxed to the North Jersey Herald and News and the Record on the same date. Additionally, a copy of the notice was filed in the office of the Township Clerk on said date.
Mrs. Kraus, can you please call the roll?
Councilmember Cordner?
Present.
Councilmember Lees?
Here.
Councilmember Sieber,
Present.
Councilmember Vanchery?
Present.
Council President Scoba.
Present. Mayor Damiano?
Council President, in light of one of the individuals who were invited tonight not being here, I'm going to ask that we potentially delay the reading of the proclamation until later in the meeting, just to ensure that in the event she's going to be appearing, that she can be here to hear the proclamation read.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say at this time, Mayor?
No, I will get to all of the issues in the Mayor Administrator report.
Have a motion and a second to open to public comment for general matters only.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries. Mrs. Kraus?
Anyone wishing to address the Township Council may do so through the Council President. Please give your name and address for the record. Comments are to be limited to 3 minutes. However, if appropriate, you may be granted additional time in the sole discretion of the Council President.
The floor is open. Ms. Shapiro?
Being called to task.
Mike, would you like to come up to the floor? Seeing no one else come forward, can I have a motion to close to the meeting for the public?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion carries. Mayor Damiano.
Thank you, Council President. The very first thing this evening to be discussed is a tax refund resolution and a resolution canceling taxes. As is customary throughout the year, especially as home buyouts are occurring, taxes are canceled and or refunded to individual property owners throughout the municipality. This month, the total balance to be refunded is actually the annual refunds to date this year are just over $42,000 at $42,161.11, which is less than 1% of the total taxes collected by the municipality. So the numbers overall were low, which is a good sign and indicates very strong assessments throughout the municipality, resulting in little to no tax appeals and little to no refunds being provided. Again, a good number of them this year are as a result of the FEMA buyouts, which is, again, something that is out of our hands as far as monies being reimbursed.
Does the council have any questions for the mayor regarding number one? Seems to be the lowest since I've been sitting at the dais, Mayor.
Absolutely. We're good for item number two?
Yes.
All right. Item number two is a budget transfer resolution. Again, something that is seen customarily in the latter portion of the year. We are just transferring funds throughout our budget to cover all of the expenses as we approach year end here in the municipality. This was something that was discussed at length again in October. Again, something necessary here in November. But again, just extremely customary towards the end of the year.
Council have any questions for the mayor on item number two? Mayor?
All right, item number 3 is the proposed ordinance to amend Chapter 71, our recreation fees. Our recreation fees not only encompass just our rec program, but a lot of the buildings in town that fall under our rec department. For example, one of the big ones is our Civic Center. It's a facility that in the past has, in my opinion, been severely underutilized by the public, and it's a building there for public use that never gets used by the public because it's been restricted primarily to municipal functions. In amending our ordinance, what we are looking to do is to create a fee schedule that will allow for the rental of the Civic Center as well as other fields throughout the entire municipality, everywhere from Patterson Ave to Amity to Lewis to Inwood to Savatieri to the tennis courts. We're looking to implement a fee schedule that leaves no discretion as far as the costs associated with utilizing our municipal facilities. This also permits for individuals or residents to pull park permits for special events, whether it be in Wilmore Park, whether it be in the Morris Canal Park, et cetera. So what we're really looking to do is to allow the residents to use the facilities that they have here in town with extremely minimal fees associated with it, which will assist in, again, I think, bringing some vitality throughout the town. So that is what we are looking to do. The proposed ordinance has the proposed fee schedule that would be associated with the use of all of these things. As an example, the Civic Center, for use of at least 1 hour, and everything is a 1 hour minimum, the Civic Center would cost $25 an hour. The Rec Center would cost $25 an hour. The Recreation Multipurpose Room would cost $10 an hour. The costs are extremely reasonable, but it's something that will, again, allow them to be utilized far more than they are. It'll also generate some revenues for the municipality on a go-forward basis. The fields are also extremely reasonable. Patterson Avenue Fields is $50 with a 2 hour minimum. Our fields are 2 hour minimums. Amity Field at $25 an hour, Lewis Street at $25. The only caveat to those costs are whether or not the lights need to be utilized for the time used on the fields. The lighting charges would be $75 an hour and will be added to each of the field's rentals. Of course, right now our only field with lights is Duva Field and the tennis courts, which will be lit up very soon. But that is something that we are looking to have something, again, utilized more throughout the municipality. Are there any questions with respect to the ordinance for fees?
Councilwoman, hold on one second. Councilwoman Cordner?
So would the fees be the same for Little Falls residents as they would be for organizations that are not in Little Falls, or would those fees be higher? Or would you consider that?
We could. Right now, it was set at the same rate. It's something that we actually don't have set fees for right now at all across the board. So establishing a fee is something that I think would be beneficial. If it's something you want to consider and charging an additional amount for individuals not within the municipality, it's something that we could consider, but I guess what's the council's prerogative on that?
And then, so the fees would be standardized, and then once they're established, they'd be up on the website, so people would be able to see them, know what they are, and there'd be no discussion.
Exactly. The only reduced fees, just to be clear, come in for our senior programs. They currently pay, I believe it's $8 per hour as the stipend to utilize our $8 per hour to utilize our Civic Center where they meet, depending on the senior group, they only meet once a week generally. It was something that they've done forever. And although I'm not usually one that's satisfied with, well, this is the way it's always been done. I think in this case, the $8 fee for them to continue to utilize our Civic Center during the day is reasonable.
I would agree. I would agree.
Councilman Cherry.
My question, I guess, is around the fields, because, you know, we have the LFAC, we have the FPA. Obviously, that would utilize most of the fields throughout the different seasons, whether it's softball, baseball, soccer, basketball, football, for that matter. I would hope that there's sort of the priority, because to Councilwoman Cordnier's point, we may see some other towns look to try to utilize these fields, because what we've seen throughout the years is a lot of towns do not have facilities with lights. I can name like 3 or 4 towns off the top of my head that have had it for soccer. So I just want to make sure too that if we do have the option for in-town use would get first preference over any outsiders trying to come in, because I know there are towns that do not have lights, and we experience it for soccer where we have to go to certain towns to play at 5 o'clock at night because they don't have lights. So I know they would see this as an opportunity to come in, but if we can make sure the priority is for Little Falls town programs first, they get the choice to select the times, and if there's anything open that they're not utilizing, maybe then it's offered to outsiders.
Without a doubt, the Little Falls programs are going to get first priority. And the ordinance also calls for that township recreation programs will be scheduled by the rec department, and that they will not be, I'm sorry, that they will not be, I'll read it verbatim. Township recreation programs will be scheduled by the recreation department, facilities, fields and parks. Use not scheduled for township programs and events may be available for rental by outside organizations. Approval by the township is required.
Okay, thanks.
Mayor number 4.
Item number 4 is prohibiting the left turn from Muller Place onto Newark Pompton Turnpike. Something that has been raised by the planning board and municipality in light of several recent planning board applications is because of, and it's really been brought to light because of the development there, although I believe it's truly been an issue, and something that should have been in place maybe forever here in town, is prohibiting the left turn from Muller Place onto Route 23 or Newark Pompton Turnpike, heading southbound. The issue there is that you're crossing multiple lanes of Route 23 northbound traffic. It is an extremely difficult and dangerous turn to make. It is not a traffic-controlled intersection. And because of the backup that typically occurs, because of the red light, and the backup extending far beyond the intersection at Moeller, making a left turn may jam up traffic far worse than it may already be there. So I think prohibiting the left turn there makes not only sense, but it's needed for safety. So that was something that we were looking to have this council consider and adopt.
Does the council have any questions regarding this?
Councilwoman
Coordinator?
Just since you're going to be turning onto a state road, even though Muller Place is a town road, do we have to get approval from the state in order to make that change? Because that's our road, it's our prerogative.
We'll have the prohibited rates right, because it's, we're prohibiting an action from a municipal road, although it's onto a state road.
Okay,
Does the council have any other questions? You have something to say, Mr. Wenzel?
No, just was looking at Mr. Cucci, just want to make sure that we're talking about traffic coming our road onto the county road.
Correct.
Right.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 5.
Sure, item number 5 is a proposed ordinance to amend Chapter 7, which is prohibiting parking on Main Street from Center Avenue to Stevens Avenue. This is something that I'm not asking the council to take action on, possibly not in 2018, because there is some coordination that needs to occur between the municipality and the county. So this may wait until 2019. Although this may be something that we can pass and just not require enforcement until the road is realigned. Is that possible on your end, Chief? That the ordinance would be contingent upon the road being realigned? Okay. Right, so explain to everybody here, the issue is that, so what we're looking to do is prohibit parking on Main Street from Center Avenue to Stevens Avenue on the eastbound side of the road. So vehicles heading from the Singex section of town towards Long Hill Road on Main Street between Center and Stevens Ave. The issue that we have there is that the roadway is not really wide enough for both sides of the street parking. It not only results in a number of mirrors being put in that area of town, but it also results in traffic being built up severely further westbound in town as people are trying to head east because of how narrow it is and how slow and careful everyone has to drive. Not that slow and careful is a bad thing. It just becomes almost prohibitive in being able to maneuver through that area of town as it's busy. So by eliminating the parking on one side of the road, this will essentially turn the road into, I'll call it, three lanes wide, for lack of a better term. Although one of those lanes will be parking on the westbound side, and it will allow two wider lanes of travel for people traversing Main Street between Center and Stevens Ave. Again, this has to be coordinated with the county. Right now, the striping of the lines down the middle of the road, it still permits parking on both sides. But once that line is moved a little bit closer to the, I guess that would be the south side of the road, the parking in that area will be impossible because the lane will not be wide enough for parking and vehicles to travel. So it's something that I think we should consider. It's something that I think will help traffic flow throughout the municipality, which we know is a major issue, especially in light of Route 46 interchange being worked on for the next 3, 4, 5 years, whatever that may be. So it's something to consider. I think it's a safety issue there. Again, with all of the mirrors being clipped and vehicles being damaged, and it'll really just facilitate with traffic flow in that area.
Does the council have any questions at this time? On Councilwoman Seibert?
Thank you. So will the stop line that is on Main Street near Stevens be moved, or will that stay the same where it's currently pushed back to allow for bus turning?
So moving the line closer to the intersection is something that I think needs to be considered at some point in the future when the gas station curb cut is no longer there and that far back. Although it would need to be done in conjunction with trucks and buses still being able to make that left turn onto Stevens. Onto Main Street from Stevens. Moving this lane and these lines and prohibiting the parking, I think will also assist in permitting the trucks or buses to make that left turn from Stevens onto Main also. And I think all of these things can work in conjunction to really help traffic flow in that area of town. I think that's a good point. Moving that line. I just don't know that it can happen yet with that curb cut at the gas station because it does start kind of all the way back at where the buildings start there on Main Street.
So is that curb cut town property, or is that part of the gas station?
Well, we always tell residents the curb's their problem to fix, so I'm going to go with it as the gas station's curb.
And then I would believe that there would be a loss of 4 parking spots?
Correct, it's 4 parking spots. There is a bus stop there, so the bus stop is not and cannot be eliminated there. It is actually much further. It's the first thing. The bus stop is the first thing that you approach as you're traveling eastbound. So really the alignment should start to occur sort of after that bus stop to allow that widening of the road.
Thank you.
Council President.
Councilman Vanchery.
Mayor, I know too, Corporal Mancato and I talked to Chuck Silverstein, traffic county engineer, and he mentioned as well that how wide it is, that street. He said you should move the line accordingly and remove those 4 parking spaces. So from a county standpoint, he would recommend doing this as well. I know if we're talking to Corporal Mancato as well, there's been a number of the right side, rearview mirrors, left side, depending on where you're parked, clipped on several occasions. I know too with the buses, what typically happens is when they're on the street, it becomes sort of a standstill as everyone waits to see if the bus can navigate. I mean, this is definitely something that would be needed. Allow the flow of traffic to a lot better than it currently is.
Councilwoman Courtney?
Would there be any value to making that, right now that there won't be any cars there, a right turn only lane onto Center and then onto Stevens? Would that help the flow of traffic?
So there is a right turn only lane onto Center already. But a right turn only lane onto Stevens, I think might pose issues for buses and trying to make that left turn, which is again part of the reason why the stop line is so far back. That in conjunction with the curb curb cut being so far back. So having that stop line further back allows buses and trucks to make that from Stevens onto Main. Where if vehicles were approaching, as a truck or a bus was trying to make that left, it may make it much more difficult. I think that's something maybe we can talk to the county about, the engineers about. But I really don't know. The issue is that area of Main Street not wide enough for two lanes, otherwise parking would still be permitted there.
Oh, so what's happening is it just would be wider, not that it's additional lanes. So the traffic would merge anyway, would continue as one lane.
Correct. So it'll only be, and again, I'm using lanes as the term, it's not the proper term, but there will be one lane of parking on the north side of the street, which is as you're heading westbound. There will be one westbound lane of travel and one eastbound lane of travel. Because the roadway there is really only wide enough for 3 vehicles at any given time wide, where now we're kind of squeezing 4 vehicles wide with parking on both sides, and a lane of travel on each side, which is the issue that we have here. So the right turn lane would bring us back to that problem of being 4 lanes wide, which we just can't fit.
And then the wider lanes would help on the one side where there is parking, so that you're not taking your life and trying to get out of the driver's side.
Exactly, it'll widen both lanes of travel while still allowing parking on one side.
Okay, sounds good.
Item number 6.
One question from the administrator on this.
Is it possible, normally when we have these ordinances, we make them effective 20 days after final passage and publication. Can we make it effective after the county completes the realignment of Main Street between Stevens and Center?
As usual, Mr. Kuchia is thinking on the same wavelength as I am. I will have to, with that in mind, I will have to take a look at that and research that before it's introduced the next council meeting. I have notes on it, and we'll take a look at that. Obviously, as the council may be aware, and Mr. Kuchia is well aware of this. Normally, an ordinance is a 20-day window before it's effective, but there's other circumstances by which you can make an ordinance effective on another existing or a condition precedent. So I'll take a look at that.
Councilwoman Coordinator.
Do we have a confirmed date from the county when they're going to do the restriping?
I smile because they just came through and restriped Main Street last week. Our discussions with them were they were going to realign the roadway, but it did not occur. So we will need to coordinate with them, and that's why hoping to, in some fashion, make this ordinance work in conjunction with the timing of the restriping.
And I reached out to the freeholder director today because the traffic engineer has gotten back to me in the last couple of weeks. So I'm hoping that she can follow up with him and give us an update on the rest of the roads.
Mayor number 6.
Sure, item number 6 is the proposed ordinance to amend Chapter 7, prohibit parking on Woods Road. This is something that really needs discussion by the council. It is something that has come to my attention, and I think some of the council members on numerous occasions. At the top of Woods Road, it's common that during the day, Montclair State University students are parking on the top of Woods Road, taking their life in their hands and traversing the steep rock face down to the school each day. To go to class without paying for parking or driving through the middle of campus. I don't know what's worse, paying or driving through that campus. But that said, the residents have also expressed concern with the fact that it appears that a number of the college students travel at higher speeds occasionally, going up and down Woods Road, try to find their free parking spot up there. So between all of those things, a number of the residents have asked that we consider some sort of prohibition on parking in that area. I don't know if the answer is prohibiting parking altogether. I don't know if the answer is requiring limited parking between certain hours for a certain period of time, 2-hour parking between 9 and 4. I don't know if it is, in what part of Woods Road do we do that? The entirety of it? Do we just push that problem down to Ironwood, 1 street further down? So that's something that I think needs some discussion. And open to suggestions and whatever the council decides, I think here's something is better than nothing than the current date.
Councilman Vanchery, you have anything on this topic?
I was just going to say, I mean, it's sort of similar to my street on Hobson. You have the high school right there. It's the 2-hour parking, of course, from 9 to 4. Because the residents want to cut down the amount of students that are parking. I mean, it seems like a 2-hour parking is feasible. I mean, I wish there was a way to kind of fence off a little better, sort of that little hill that they're walking down, because it is a safety issue. The last thing you want is a student walking down that thing and falling their neck or a leg or something. I don't know if there was something to that. Work with Montclair State University about as well to see if there's better fencing to close off that access. I think that'll also deter people from wanting to do that. I don't know, Mayor, if that's something.
That is a huge piece of property they can walk down. Not to mention the developer of that area of town has been in communication with the town as they had original application came before the planning board in discussion to install a stairway from top of Woods Road down to Clove Road down there so that residents can access the train station much easier. As sort of one of the added benefits to being in that area of town. All of that makes sense. That's why I think again, a total parking prohibition at all times, all days of the week, all hours of the day, might not be the right answer because then residents, much like on your street, would never be able to have friends and family over to visit. That's why I think it maybe the council should consider some sort of a weekday for a limited hour, time parking up there. That may address all of the issues. Students parking there, that may facilitate individuals still being able to have friends and family over, especially on weekends, holidays, whatever it may be. Something along those lines. I think is the route to go. But that's why I'm open to suggestions.
Councilwoman.
Yeah, over where I live on Upper Mountain Avenue, I'm like three houses from Montclair. And as soon as you go over Normal and around the area into Highland, all you see is college kids coming and parking on the street, going over to college. And people can't get out of their driveway. It's very difficult. And they have done limited hours of parking. But what they've done is 3 hours, really doesn't work because what they do is go to class, come back, move the car, go to class, come back. I would think if we could do something like a 2-hour parking from, I don't know, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, would certainly, I think, solve that problem and then not be a hardship. Because I know the people that live in the new development, it's limited street parking in that development in short driveways. So.
I'd also recommend that the council exclude holidays. If the intent is to, limit the students parking there.
Councilwoman Seaver.
So just to clarify for everyone, so when we're speaking about Woods Road, are we speaking about the entirety of Woods Road or only certain sections? Because I believe there are some, there's areas of that road that have houses and then some that do not. So do we see college children or adults parking also in front of homes, or are they more towards the wooded area?
So the majority of the issue is towards the wooded area, as I understand it, and as I've seen it, and as I've seen it one or two occasions. The issue is if we only prohibit it in that short section, all we're doing is moving the problem 50 feet down the road. I don't know that the entire roadway is necessary. The first break street up there is Ironwood. So Ironwood, I don't know the direction from there. If it's south, which is actually up the hill, so counterintuitive, but I don't know if that's the right answer, but it's something to be considered is what section of the roadway do we prohibit the parking?
Are there any other questions regarding Woods Road parking? Okay, Mayor, we will definitely get back to you with recommendations concerning that issue for sure. Mr. Simone, the exciting issue of rock salt. I've read through this a couple of times.
All right.
Earlier this year, SACOUNT went out for bid for rocks. Bid came in too high, and county rejected the bid. They went back out again. They received the bids. They notified us of the bids. Their price is still cheaper than the Morris County Co-op, which we also belong to. And generally, we go with the County Co-op, being that we get a better price. It is going up $5.30 a ton, over what it was last year. So this year it's going to be costing us $56.28 a ton compared to the prior year of $50.98 a ton, which we just ordered 5 loads of salt.
For the council, football really, but for the president's information, how much salt do you normally go through in an average winter?
Average winter, anywhere between 500 and 800 tons.
So off the top of your head, this cost the township how much more dollars with that increase?
Well, 500 tons going to cost you another $2,800.
Is that based on a supply issue or just a demand issue that you get away with raising the price?
Some of the years, it's been there's been a problem with salt. There's been shortages. It hasn't happened recently, but I guess they have a captive audience. You need salt. You're going to pay for it. And it's more than a few places that bid on it.
You mean the fuel went up higher, so the transportation goes up?
Yeah.
Does the council have any questions for Mr. Simone regarding number one, rock salt?
So I have to say that being stuck in traffic to go 2 miles took me 1 hour. So I actually do feel that rock salt is a very important subject.
Got a big fan there.
But so overall, you're saying that's a 10%, almost a 10% increase, correct?
Yeah.
Is there anything, Mr. Simone, that Mr. Simone, the mayor could look into for future, I mean, for storage, to buy more, to?
The current facility that we have there, we can hold approximately 500 to 600 tons of rock salt in the building we have. So generally, what we do is each year, after the winter, we try and fill it up this way it's all set. This year, we were down a couple of loads this last storm. We used about 5 loads of salt alone. Generally, it's about 2 to 3 loads. So it was almost double.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Simone? Can I have a motion and a second to approve the resolutions A and B at this time?
So moved.
Second. Mrs. Kraus, please call the roll.
Councilmember Coordinator?
Yes.
Councilmember Lees? Councilmember Sieber, Councilmember Vanchery? Council President Scoba?
Yes. Councilman Vanchery?
Sure. So last week, I just want to say thank you to the American Legion Post 108. We had our annual Veterans Day ceremony last Sunday on November 11th at Wilmore Road Park. It was a nice event that Legion took care of, making sure everything was coordinated from the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts to the veterans from the surrounding areas. So thank you to the American Legion Post 108 members for that. Just from a transportation standpoint, just a couple different updates. A couple weeks ago, myself, Corporal Moncado, and Mr. Christoph, our engineer, we met to discuss a couple of different items, including speed humps, as well as taking a look over at the proposed traffic light on Francisco, Wilmore Road, Cedar Grove. So we just wanted to take a ride around a few different streets as well to get a sense of the flow of traffic, different patterns, look at some of the feedback that we've gotten from residents. So we did come up with come up with a few suggestions in terms of potential streets that we're exploring for speed humps. And Mr. Christoph is doing some research to determine whether temporary or permanent speed humps are a solution, potentially in some areas, including Houston, Jacobus, Woodcliff, and Van Ness for that matter. And then while down last week at the League of Municipalities, I had a chance to talk to one of the representatives from Traffic Logic, which makes speed humps that are emergency vehicle safe. They're temporary ones that are put down. A fire truck, a police car, an ambulance can literally drive over them with no issues. And Chief Sweezy was down there as well, and he had a chance to look at them as well. So I reached out to folks from Traffic Logic this week, and they're actually going to come up here next month for our transportation meeting and do a presentation on the different options that we have, and just kind of walk us through what we can potentially do from like a temporary standpoint, where if we had to put a few of these on some of the high volume traffic roads, we can definitely do that, and they're safe and effective, and they would not deter any of our response. I know that has been a topic that's come up a number of different times. So that's something we're working on. We have a couple meetings planned on December 4th and December 11th to allow members that can't make one meeting can come to the other, and the Traffic Logic are willing to be there for both meetings. A little bit of progress as we work on that. The other thing I'm working on is, as I mentioned before, with the county traffic engineer, he hasn't been responsive, so I reached out to Freeholder Director Sandy Lazara, see if we can get an update on the application that was submitted on our end, the light at the intersection of the three county roads, because there continues to be accidents, and keep asking. We are pushing for that to hopefully get on the agenda from the county and approve it and get this thing rolling. I do know that it's a hot topic for a lot of people in town. I'm pushing for that and hoping that the Freeholder Director can help wake up the engineer who seems to be a little disconnected right now. So that's it for me. I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Enjoy the holiday and be safe.
Thank you for your report on that upcoming meeting regarding the temporary speed bumps, that you make sure Chief Post, Chief Sweezy, and Mr. Simone, and the mayor and myself are invited to that meeting.
Absolutely.
Councilman Lees?
Just to prepare to enjoy yourself also on Thursday. Special time.
Thank you. Councilwoman Cordnier?
Yeah, just a quick update on Little Falls Holiday on Main, which kicks off with Shop Small from American Express. I don't know if you've seen the signs up around. The Little Falls Business Association have been pushing Shop Small Saturday, which is traditionally the Saturday after Thanksgiving, the Saturday after Black Friday, and it's very important that we really shop our local stores and help them to thrive. And then our first event, the PBA does have a Breakfast with Santa on December 1st at Passaic Valley High School. But then Little Falls Friday, December 7th, we have the holiday tree lighting, which is very exciting. And there'll be singing of Christmas carols, there'll be cookies and hot chocolate and some other surprises. So we're all looking forward to that, and everybody will be able to see for the first time are really terrific, great-looking lights that have been installed in Memorial Park and along the Peckman. I think they really look great. Very excited about that. And then on December 8th, we have our Little Falls Business Association Breakfast with Santa. They have two sessions, and apparently both sessions are already sold out, and they're trying to see how many more people they could accommodate. And the library on the following day is going to be having movies in the library. We haven't announced the movies yet, but there's also going to be a baking contest for the traditional holiday. I don't even remember what you call it. Thank you, the gingerbread contest. We all remember that I dropped one last year. We'll let that happen again this year. But we do have a lot of things planned, and we're very excited about it. I too would like to wish everybody a wonderful holiday. And as we're spending time with our families, and we're being thankful for many of the gifts that we have, since it is a holiday of Thanksgiving. Let us remember in our thoughts and prayers those families and people in California that have lost their homes, lost their family members, and think about them and hope that this terrible ordeal will be over soon.
Councilwoman Seaver.
Thank you. So this past Tuesday, the Municipal Alliance has met, and we are in talks with a lot of planning for some great events this upcoming year, which we will be able to announce as we finalize all those. I was proud to also attend the League of Municipalities last week, which is a trade show that is really customized to town amenities and services. So that was quite fun, although in my personal professional career, I attend food shows where I come home very full. The League of Municipalities was great to see what services and other things that we can bring to the town. So hopefully we'll be able to implement some things shortly here. And then also just echoing the rest of council's wishful thanks to all out there, that we hope that everybody enjoys their Thanksgiving holiday, and that we do always remember the behind story, that we want to remember all those that we are thankful for, and help give services and appreciations to all of those around us.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Mayor, I'm pleased to report that the library board moved quickly to fill the post that Christine Miller, your current library director, is resigning, so that they wouldn't have to get an intern director. The individual that was selected was Kristen Bloomberg, who actually worked for the library a few years ago and then went over to Montclair. So the board is very happy to have her back in the capacity of director. Christine Miller actually is going to assume the role of treasurer for the Friends of the Library. So I think it's a good sign that our employees don't really want to leave us, and we still help out in another way. Also, Mayor, as you probably know, that Marianne DiLorenzo, who's been on the board since 1993, has submitted her resignation from the board. That is a post that you have to select someone for, so those individuals will have to send you a letter for you to review for that post to be filled. Can I have a motion and a second to open to the public comment for agenda items only?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. I know you missed the general matters, but if you want to say something on the general matter, you're welcome to as well, Ray.
Raymond Kostrowski, 170 Donato Drive. As far as Woods Road goes, I know some towns do it. Thought maybe to issue like a resident parking during certain hours, which would give the residents, and the family, if they have friends over, they can park in their driveway, park their car on the street. A few towns do that. The other thing is with Main Street, with no parking. Well, restriping. It seems like, I don't know, to me, the problem is more, I think, on the westbound side, because when you have the buses making the turn, as much as I hate to see, any parking being taken away, when they make the turn, to me, it seems better parking on that side, which give the buses more of a turn coming in, and more room to come through. So you could leave, basically leave by the bank and all there, or give you more room on the other side. This is a thought, putting it out there.
Well, we welcome your comments. Does the council have any questions? Comments? Thank you, sir, for coming forward. Mayor, we're going to circle back around to, sorry. Seeing no one else come forward, have a motion and a motion to close the meeting to the public.
So moved.
Second. Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Mayor, we're going to circle back around to you.
Thank you, Council President. I see here we have joining us Lauren Verdi, whose family is dealing with difficult times as a result of pancreatic cancer. And she joins us here because November is Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. And we have prepared a proclamation that is going to be read on her and her family's behalf, as well as all of those who are dealing with the horrible effects of pancreatic cancer. Whereas in 2018, an estimated 53,670 people will be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in the United States, and 43,090 will die from the disease. Whereas pancreatic cancer is one of the deadliest cancers and is currently the third leading cause of cancer death in the United States, and is projected to become the second leading cause around 2020. Whereas pancreatic cancer is the only major cancer with a 5-year relative survival rate in the single digits at just 9%. Whereas when symptoms of pancreatic cancer present themselves, it is generally in later stages, and 71% of pancreatic cancer patients die within the first year of their diagnosis, while 91% of pancreatic cancer patients die within the first 5 years. Whereas approximately 1,270 deaths will occur in New Jersey in 2018, whereas pancreatic cancer is the seventh most common cause of cancer-related death across the world. Whereas the good health and well-being of the residents of Little Falls are enhanced as a direct result of increased awareness about the symptoms and risk factors of pancreatic cancer and research into the early detection, causes, and effective treatments. Now, therefore, I, James Damiano, Mayor of the Township of Little Falls, along with the Township Council, hereby designate November 19, 2018 as World Pancreatic Cancer Day in the Township of Little Falls.
Thank you, Mayor. Would you like to say anything? It's okay. You don't have to come up. You're quite welcome. On behalf of the Mayor and the Council. Can I have a motion and a second to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Second? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying nay. This meeting is now closed.